Trujillo, world's greatest living artist, doing a little painting right here. Let's do this. Do a little still life. I'm still here in the studio, having tons of fun. I don't sound like I'm having fun. I'm having tons of fun. Yeah, I'm a little tired, but man, have I been having fun today. Every day I learn something new in the studio. Okay? But I only learn something new in the studio in the middle of the hustle. Okay? In the middle of the work. I don't even like using the word hustle. I just play around with that word. I actually don't like it. I feel like it implies that you're not working, that somehow you're manipulating or you know, some bullshit. Everything I do here is work. Everything I do here is work. And this whole hustle thing, I think it just sounds nice. So, you know, that's why I end up using words like that. They sound fun. But trust me, guys, there's no inch of anything that is working for me that it's not just pure work. So that's all I really like to show you guys, the work aspect, so that people don't get confused, man. A lot of people get confused. They're like, oh yeah, I want to be an artist. I do, but you realize that this whole thing is actually about work. I know some artists out there, they actually think that it's just also being noticed, you know, like, oh, if I just get noticed, because I talk a lot about that too. You got to get noticed, right? You know, yeah, absolutely. I would like to ask you a question offline if that's possible. Totally, just DM me. I'm totally open. Okay, please DM me and I'll get back to you ASAP. So there's lots of people that think that if you just get seen, I always talk about, you know, audience, building an audience and getting, that's extremely important, guys. But I promise you something, getting seen does not replace working, okay? It does not replace working. I just want to make that clear, because I don't want people to get this idea that, man, I get seen, and that's great. No, usually people that get seen, if they don't continue, not usually, I don't know anyone who doesn't actually. If they don't continue to work, they will be forgotten, or they'll be, the marketplace will spit you out like that. Because what ends up happening, I mean, just think of any actor, any actress, any person, any actor in Hollywood. They're getting momentum, they're getting seen, people like them and whatnot, and the very first thing they do, I don't know so much here as in other places, and when I mean other places, other countries, right? I know a couple of actors in not know personally, but you know, from TV in Mexico, either with like the old soap operas or things like that, right? They start catching momentum, and all of a sudden they're like, well, I'm gonna go take a break. It's like, dude, don't be stupid, don't do it. They go take a break, then they come back in a year and nobody remembers them. Nobody cares about them. They're scratching their heads asking the question, why don't I have more jobs? And the thing is, it's not that they didn't get seen, it's that they got forgotten. The thing that keeps people not forgetting you is work. It's just work. And so I know a lot of people out there, they're like, man, if I just get seen, and I'm an artist who promotes, man, you got to get seen. But it is not just getting seen, guys, okay? Like, please don't get it confused. It's not just getting seen. You got to still push, and you got to work, and you got to do the deal. You know, you can't just try to get seen. I mean, you should always try to get seen, but that's not it. If this makes any sense, that's not it alone. You have to be in front of people consistently and persistently. You have to be doing your work. You have to be doing the exhibits. You have to be showing up in your marketplace, whatever it is that you're doing if you're an artist. You know? There's no such thing as, man, I have a huge fan base and everything is nice now. I really don't believe in that. And if that works, I'd be afraid of it. Honestly, personally, I'd be afraid of it. I'd be afraid of it going away, because people, the way that we connect as human beings is by staying in touch, guys. It's by staying in touch. It's not just some gallery. This is what happened to a lot of artists in the 80s. There was a nice flux of money in the 80s, right? A lot of modern pop artists, expressionist artists came about, and there was an excess, right? There was an excess of money. You know, your big New York galleries, your big shiny New York galleries and all of that. And this artist didn't continue working. Man, I've read so much about that. This artist didn't continue working. They didn't continue pushing. They didn't continue exhibiting. They did not continue to be in front of the customer, right? Working. It's the only way you're in front of a customer, if you're working. Right? You keep working, that means you're producing. If you're producing, you get it out into the world. And then, boom, baby, they get forgotten. You know? This happened big time in the 80s. There's so many artists who were like, man, I was selling artwork for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. I was selling artwork for hundreds, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. If I had $1 every time I heard a story, every time I go to a city and I meet an older artist, not every single time, but a lot of times, guys, I meet older artists. They're like, man, I was doing so well in the 80s. You know, and then they blame the market. They're like, well, you know, it's the market and blah, blah, blah. It's that there's so many people now. They all think they're artists. I'm like, dude, no, that's not it. That's not it. I usually don't like getting into discussions, especially those types, because I think those are stupid discussions. But I'm like, dude, that's not it. You stop working. You know? You stop working. And every time that you stop working, the marketplace starts disciplining you. It kicks your butt. It reminds you where do you deserve to be if you don't work. So as much as I talk about, hey, build your audience, hey, get this stuff, put your name out there, you know, as much as I talk about that, I also don't want artists, I don't want people to get sidetracked and start believing in some fairy tale that if you just make a name for yourself, all of a sudden you are in easy street. Yeah, for a little bit. That's like saying that you're going to exercise, and once you have the perfect body, you're going to stop exercising. Right? Anyone who exercised would probably laugh about that, right? Not probably. They would. You couldn't get them to stop laughing. You know, it's like saying, oh, I'm going to go plant a garden. As soon as it's really nice and pretty and beautiful, I'm going to stop taking care of it. I'm going to stop taking care of that garden as soon as it's really nice. Dude, that's a joke. Of course not. Of course that would never work. The garden's going to go away. This is what has happened to countless artists. Okay? Left and right. Countless artists. This has happened so much because they're counting on something and not work. They're counting on some strategy. They're counting on one little piece of strategy, one little thing, you know. If I just do this, if I just advertise, there's no such thing as just. There's no such thing as just. You got to do all of it, and you got to do it all the time, and you have to be on top of it. You got to stay on top of it. If you want it to work, you got to stay on top of it, baby. All right? Check it out. There it is. Boom. My name is Jose Trujillo. I'm an artist. If you like this painting, it will be available on my eBay shop. And the auction will start at 99 cents. Yeah, 99 cents. Check it out. This measures 14 by 14 inches. It's oil on canvas. Let's give it some space. Ooh. This makes a great gift, by the way, because it's small. You can send it anywhere. I mean, come on. 99-cent auction. It's crazy. I do crazy stuff like that. And then the people I exhibit, the gallery owners, they're the ones that don't understand, right? They're like, dude, stop doing that. Stop doing that. I can't sell your paintings if you do that. I'm like, dude, sell the bigger paintings. Stop whining about it. Please, gallery owners, stop whining about it. Sell the bigger paintings. Some people tell me, why do you sell your paintings so cheap? I'm not selling my paintings so cheap. I'm auctioning a lot of my work. I got different size paintings. I got the $5,000 paintings. I got the $10,000, the $20,000, the $30,000 paintings. I'm not selling them cheap. This is a strategy, guys. Okay? Hey, take care, guys. Peace. Thank you so much. Peace. Oh, man.